Okay, now how did I get this disorder, you ask? Hey, back off. I was driving in my car, and I struck a cat, okay? Actually, the cat struck me. But anyways, I got out of my vehicle, and I walked to the front. And I looked down, and I felt terrible for my front bumper. I had that Pontiac for 18 years, and the front of it looked fabulous until I struck that cat, okay? Now, where was I? Okay, I got out of the vehicle, and, I had to move the cat carcass off the road. So I did as follows. I did a pot of beret, followed by 2 kickball chains, and I moved the carcass off the road, okay? Oh, the cigarette goes in this hand, excuse me. Now, I was so happy that Ricky wasn't there, because had Ricky been there, we'd be eating cat for supper 4 days in a row. Okay? I am so sick of cats. I don't like the wild cats, they're gamey. I like the plump Hello Kitties from the trailer park, okay? Now, to my dismay, did I use that word correctly?
Yes.
No?
Yeah.
Okay, well, pat on the back either way. Now, I looked down and I said, sweet but Jesus, smelly sock Friday, there was 4 kittens. What was I to do? Okay? What was I to do? You can't forget about the people behind you. Those are expensive seats. Okay? Now, losing my train of thought and have a senior moment here. So, I have to take care of these kittens. I said, what would any good Christian woman do? I got to save these kittens, because somebody killed their mother. So, I emptied out my laundry bag, okay? And I dumped it out. And I got the 4 kittens and I put them in the laundry bag and I tied it real tight so they felt like they was in Mama's womb. And I drove to the laundromat and I did my business, okay? Because you cannot let every Armageddon throw you off the tightrope, okay? Now I got home and I opened up the bag and it turned out that 3 of them don't know how to breathe, okay? I call that survival of the kittest. You following me, stupids? Yeah? Okay, all right. So what happened next is I had to tell Ricky, all right? Now I was relieved. We went from 4 cats down to 1. So I says, Ricky, I struck a cat, okay? We got to take in a kitten. And he says to me, I ain't taking in no strays. And I says, excuse me? That was when I popped a hip to the hop, okay? And I assumed, ow, Forrest Gump position. And I says, Ricky, I says, you was a stray.